Right now, the Bengals guards on the football team, correct me if I'm wrong, is Jackson Kirkland, Cody Ford, Cordell Volson, Lucas Patrick. One of those guys got benched last. Matter of fact, two of those guys got benched last year at one point or another.
Yep.
Right? The other guy is an undrafted player. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. So, I was logging on my TikTok, and I didn't realize Dalton Risner commented on it. At first, I thought it was bullshit. I was like, "There's no way Dalton Risner commented on it."
Right.
Yeah. What's he doing on
First of all,
here?
what's he doing on TikTok? I'm not even on TikTok. So I go on TikTok and he says, "Yeah, man, yeah, bro, I love this. Like, agreed 100%." Then it was, "I would love to be a Bengal." Hold that thought. I love that. I love that comment for him. That is probably as direct as you can possibly be. Here you are having a interior offensive line. By the way, he had back injury last year. He kind of started the season a little late. I think week 7 or something like that. He has always been a very good pass blocker. Marissa, if you could pull up those exact PFF grades from your Evan, one of you. Left gave up no sacks last year, had 0 penalties. I think he had like 16 or 15 hurries. But outside of that, Dalton Risner was an absolute dog for the Vikings. An absolute dog for the Vikings. And you have a clear need on the interior of the offensive line. You don't like to pay premium money for guards. This is a guy that's not going to what? Cost money, right? As a guard. Not going to cost significant money, but he's a clear upgrade over the guys you have in the building. Dalton Risner steps in day one. I don't think this is a hot take. Dalton Risner steps in day one and immediately is the best guard on the Bengals.
Agreed.
That ain't saying much, by the way. That's not saying much.
But it's still true.
But it's still true.
I got the stats right here. 398 pass blocking snaps, 1 sack allowed, and on true pass sets, which matters because the Bengals do a lot more of the pro style true dropbacks and not so much of the play action or the screen action, right? Looking at just true pass sets, he had 208 sets last year with the Vikings, 0 sacks allowed, 2 hits, 13 hurries.
Yep.
So not making contact with the quarterback. Sure, there's a little bit of pressure there, but for a free agent guard that you can get right now that's turning 30 and still has plenty of tread left on the tires, you have a coach who's worked with him in multiple spots. Like that seems like an easy common sense signing there. And maybe they're waiting until after the draft, like they are kind of with Jermaine Pratt. Maybe they're waiting for the chips to fall on the table, and then, the same way, if we can't get a linebacker or someone else can't get a linebacker, they'll reach out about Jermaine Pratt, right? Maybe if after the draft, if we don't like where we landed with an interior guard, or we found a tackle that doesn't have the guard versatility that just fell in our lap, that's a way that we can
what my
get the
issue
guard.
is that bro?
You're waiting and letting someone else have the opportunity.
Well, not even that.
Like,
I could get on co-sign that. I can get on board with that if they've done that in the past. They don't. Usually,
you have to believe it. That's the benefit of the doubt of you operating in a smart fashion. And you just can't do that.
Traditionally, the guys that they enter the draft with, that's their roster.
Right.
That's been their roster. They're not smart that way. They think that after free agency is over, we're on to the next segment. After that's over, we're on to the next segment. The Bengals literally saw their cornerback room get decimated and said, you know what? I got a bright idea. Let's claim a guy off of waivers. Let him potentially go through a bunch of teams, and then let's put a waiver claim in on that guy. That's their MO. That's how they do things. So I could operate in that belief of, but also you're putting that player at a disadvantage because it's like, okay, well, they're a free agent. Don't you want them to get acclimated to Cincinnati? Don't you want them to kind of move here and figure out their life situation before they get? Let's call it what it is, though. You have a guy in Dalton Risner who clearly, and by the way, I will continue to wage the war on non-traditional media versus traditional media. Listen, if I was on the Bengals payroll, if I was covering the team, I would try to like sell you on the Lucas Patrick signing. I would try to tell you, well, no, the Bengals did make a move. They went out and signed Lucas Patrick. Let me be very, very clear, unequivocally clear. You see what I did there? You like that word? Let me be extremely clear. What camera am I at, Jimmy? This one, that one, this one? Okay, let me make sure I'm super clear. Dalton Risner clears Lucas Patrick every day of the week and 10 times on Sunday. Does anybody disagree with that? Right.
Nope.
He clears him every single day of the week. It ain't even close. Okay, so if Dalton Risner stepped in on the Bengals right now, he'd be the best guard. That isn't me trying to sell you a bridge. That's me being the God's honest truth. He was a second-round pick. The Bengals liked him in his respective draft, and guess what? I hate to be that guy. I hate to act like I know everything because I don't know everything. If I knew everything, I'd probably be getting paid tens of millions of dollars to be a coach or to be in the front office. But all I can do is offer you is I digest a lot of football, a lot of film, week in and week out. This is my job. This is what I do. So let me just say this. I was the same guy that pounded and beat at the table, and I said, hey, Bengals, go out there and sign Mike Gesicki. Not because, oh, my God, we need a good blocking tight end, dude. No. I said go out there and sign Mike Gesicki because it's very clear that the Bengals offense, they like to prioritize receiving tight ends, right? They don't utilize necessarily the traditional tight end the way that we've seen fit because they also don't prioritize the run game. So the tight end whatever tight end that we see the Bengals grab, respectfully, I don't give a damn if they're a good blocker. I care if they're a good pass catcher. I was the same guy that pounded that table. And then I had people telling me, well, Hayden Hurst is better than Mike Gesicki. CJ Uzomah had a great season. Joe Burrow makes everybody look good. But I was trying to tell y'all, Mike Gesicki is a guy that produced with the Miami Dolphins his first 2 years before McDaniels got there because he doesn't believe in tight end position at all. He would do great in this team, in this offense. He excelled with the Bengals. He wound up cashing in on a 3-year deal with the Bengals because it made sense. So let me say this again. Do not tell me, well, Mike Gesicki is a good run blocker, dude. Because here's my one caveat. What's my one response to that? Do the Bengals commit to running the football, or are they a passing first team? And even if him being not the strongest run blocker, I think he's a better run blocker than Lucas Patrick, Cordell Volson, and Cody Ford. He can do it. He's not elite at it, but he's damn good in the pass block. The exact thing that what the Bengals do consistently, he is great at. It's his strong suit. It's what he does. Mm-hmm. So to me, you have a guard in Dalton Risner saying, hey, hi, I'm sitting out here.
I'd like to play for you.
I would love to be a Bengal. His wife with 1.1 million followers on TikTok. Put the eye emoji. I would love to be a Bengal. And him and I, we're working on something too. I'm trying to do a little interview with him too. Like, you have it. Like, I am doing God's work for you, Bengals. You don't even have to ask him, are you interested in being a Bengal? He's telling you, I would want to be a Bengal. Reach out to the guy. Shit, I'm about to tell Dalton. He follows me now, too. I'm about to tell him, yo, just reach out to the Bengals. Do what Orlando Brown did. Reach out.
Yeah.
Reach out to the Bengals. Tell them that you want to play for them. And Bengals sign him. It's that simple. It's not that difficult. Why is there so much pull back to get like good at the guard position? Well, there are people saying, well, the Bengals aren't interested in him because, you know, he might be you remember that one film where he was yelling at Brett Ripien on the sideline? What? The Bengals had an offensive tackle that cursed Zach Taylor out and left practice early. I don't know if you guys remember that guy. The Bills tackle, the one the Bengals got. Yeah, that happened. Glenn. That was a real thing. Cordy Glenn. Don't tell me about players not being quote unquote locker room fits and I have never heard anything bad about Dalton Risner. I asked my guy Benjamin Albright, what's the issue? Is he a bad locker room guy? No. Does he love football? Yes. So what's the issue? I have no idea what it is. And the dude is literally saying, hey, I want to play for the Bengals. Bengals, this is probably as easy as it comes to a free throw. It's easy. It's sitting right there for you. You don't want to invest big money at the guard spot. This is another guy very similar on the Mike Gesicki trajectory. He's been playing well throughout his career. No team has committed long-term to him. It's not like you could have been saying the same thing about Mike Gesicki. Well, if Mike Gesicki's so good, why weren't people committing long-term to him? Every situation is different. Well, he came to Cincinnati and he gave him life. Give Dalton Risner a chance, please. Give him a shot. Give him a phone call. Stop pigeonholing yourself. Stop trying to be the greatest people to invent the next greatest way to do things. He's sitting right there for you. It's a match made in heaven. It's not rocket science. I am not saying I'm the smartest guy in a room, but I love football. I watch a lot of film. This guy would be a clear upgrade for the Bengals, and he would not cost a lot. Lucas Patrick, it's a damn shame that you guys made him a priority over a Dalton Risner. Is my last part. People might think I'm going crazy saying this, but I'm annoyed seeing the same thing. We have the same conversation every single offseason. Every single offseason. We have it all the time. And I'm tired of having the same conversation. Give the guy a shot. If he works out, great. You don't even got to give me credit. You don't have to tag the show. You don't got to tag my name. Just give Dalton Risner a shot, and I guarantee he'll shock you.